But I'm just saying, like, y'all act like, that's how we know it's spiritual. They don't want to come up because the spirit won't allow you. You still want to live, like how the scriptures say, beast-like, wild, crazy. You still want to sniff up at every woman that you can find. I'm talking about these doctrines in general. There's a doctrine out there led by an actual woman, and that doctrine literally is to worship her. And I heard from the brother, the man of Jacob, a lot of Negroes are into that doctrine. That's pathetic. That's sad. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a woman, she had created a doctrine back in like 2010. And it's basically, she talks about herself all day. And they worship that. And she doesn't talk about the Bible or nothing. It's about her. And the brother and the man up, they were pissed. Y'all believe everything out there. You listen to everybody else out there, but you won't listen to the real word, the truth.
This is Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die.
And your time is now.
Real quick, because the brother mentioned that you got a problem when someone says you're gonna die. Well, the Most High said there's a time to die. There's a time to be born and there's a time to die. All right? We already know when you're born, you come out your mother's womb and you're breathing, right? They hibernate, they incubate you, they swaddle you up, you grow, right? And then what happens? You live your life and you die. Even a righteous man dies, because even Solomon says that that's vexation to him too. That vexes his spirit, that a righteous man dies just the same way as a wicked man. They die, they go away. But there's a difference between them two. They have a reward. There's a reward that's stored for them in the last, at the end.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 17, I said in mine heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. And I said in my heart concerning the estates of the Son of Man, the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. But, yeah, that's it on that.
Read that one again, that first one.
Verse 17, I said in mine heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
Right, the Most High is going to judge the righteous and the wicked. There's no one's exempt. Whether you've done good or bad. At the end, we all going to die. That's part of the process of living on the earth. All right? Because we know, as brothers, we know the spirit is immortal. The spirit is forever. It's recycled and comes back into this new body that's created out of the flesh from the earth. All right? So, go ahead.
It said, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose.
There's a time for every purpose under the sun, man. And y'all got a problem when somebody says you're gonna die. The scriptures say in Romans 13, if you do works of evil, be prepared to meet him that beareth the sword. So you live your life on the earth, living in ignorance and wickedness, you're going to die. When? We don't know. We just know you're going to die. Because that's what the scriptures say. The wages of sin is death. Before you get that, let me finish this. Ecclesiastes 3:2. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. And a time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance.
Right, and to you two-thirds, man, you don't know how to break that scripture down. Y'all understand. Y'all know there's a time for everything, but you don't know how to righteously balance it.
Well, all those negative parts that will be negative in your ears, that's what the time we're in right now. All right? Those are the times we're in right now. We're not in the time of healing right now. Although the elect that are drawn in, we're slowly being healed and coming in because the Most High is making us better. He's molding us. He's already, the renewing of our mind is already a process of healing. All right? He's trying to make us whole. So, Y'all think that healing's gonna come right now, though. For everybody, it's not gonna come that way. That's what y'all gotta understand. And it tells you that. Let me go ahead and finish Ecclesiastes 3 and 7. A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak.
Right, and like I said real quick, a time to rend and a time to sow. Y'all, the scriptures say, man, what you sow is what you reap. And then if we're in a time of dying, for you wicked people, man, there's a judgment for that.
Well, the word rend, if I'm not mistaken, means to tear apart. Because sow is to sow something together. We're not in that time to bring everybody together. The Most High never said to bring everybody together. He said to be fishers of men for the elect's sake. That's it. Paul said, I do these for the elect's sake. And it says a time to keep silence and a time to speak. And we're in the time to speak truth, not a bunch of garbage. And that's what y'all people draw to. Y'all like garbage. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
And a lot of y'all people don't like those certain words, man. Me being growing up, I was taught by my stepmother, she was an Edomite. She always saying, don't ever say the word hate. It's not good to hate. That's a very strong word. Y'all people don't know. That's what we're talking about. You can't, all this garbage that the brother just said you don't like to hold to, doesn't teach you what to balance things. It doesn't teach you that we're in a hard time right now. We're in a time where all your lives are on the line. We are all, with any second next step could kill you, man. Really, you're already dead. What does it say? Y'all twice dead. Y'all twice dead, and y'all don't even know it, man. It was like, and like those demons, like in the movie today, there was like a person who's totally possessed by a demon. That person, if it was a flesh, would already be dead, but the demon itself is able to keep it alive. That's all the demon's keeping you alive today. Normal flesh you would have already died if you weren't possessed by this stronger being or power. I just tell you, man, like the valley of dry bones.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
And what does America promote on today? Feasting and laughter. That's all. And we all just got done celebrating a goddamn wicked holiday, so-called holiday. When the brother even clearly broke it down to you about the witchcraft and the wickedness behind it. These events really took place. It tells you the holiday comes off a heathen. It's a pure heathen. It tells you, man, that they live in the British Isles. They were Europeans. So why we went through it. To whatever land you're going to possess, or whatever land you're put into slavery, observe that their customs.
Well, real quick, let me correct y'all, because Israel was doing the same things as heathens, though. Because it wasn't just all Esau or all the Hamites. Israel was conducting them bogus ass traditions as well. And we also know, us brothers know, that you are some of you Irish are Israelites. And y'all go back to the Celtics. Y'all are that. Y'all come from that. Okay? But I want to just make that known because, you learned it from the heathen, but Israel conducted the same traditions.
Yep. Like you learned about the Haitians. You learned the Dominicans.
Yeah, the Dominican. Yeah, Simeon and Haiti.
Yeah.
Levi.
But you learned that they were heavy into witchcraft after a while. When they came over here to America, Mexico, and Canada parts, or Mexico and America, when they went to Santo Domingo and Hispaniola, you find out they're doing that shit, and they still do it today, man. They're still doing voodoo on each other.
Yeah, they do voodoo, and they do another one that's called Santeria. Voodoo is primarily the Haitians witchcraft. Then you got the Puerto Rican and Dominicans that rehearse Santeria. They dabble in all forms of witchcraft, but primarily Haiti is on voodoo. And you got the Simeon and the Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, that fuck around with that Santeria.
That's why it says in the scriptures about Ephraim, but also the other nation that condone with that stuff, like the brother said about Israel. It says like to Ephraim, let Ephraim go because they're joined unto idols.
Leave them alone.
There's no hope for you 2/3, man. There's no hope. No matter if we were to tell you, if they came in your face and told you that this is the truth, and you've been lied to your whole life, you still won't accept it. There's that great barrier between it. And we've had our encounters with those types of spirits already. It's crazy that they're stuck. They planted themselves. Like the scripture said in Ecclesiastes, a time to pluck up. A man can't pluck them up today. When at one point in time it was possible, because the Most High ordained it to be that way. But now it takes Yahweh, man, the Most High Almighty power to come and pluck them up. That's crazy. That just shows you the power that needs to be taken, or the course of action.
Ecclesiastes 7:3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better.
Right. What is it? Ecclesiastes 1:18 says that the increase of knowledge leadeth thee to much sorrow. You're learning that you were being wicked, that you were being an evil person. Lied to, yeah. That you've been
all these doctrines, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, they're all from wicked origins, and for your ultimate enemy, which is Esau. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth.
Yeah, but like the scriptures also say that after they ate and drank and rose into play. Y'all always think it's a game. Y'all are like retarded sheep. Y'all don't, because a sheep is docile, already doesn't know its way. But on top of that, you got a mental impediment on you, a spiritual one too. You don't know which way to go. The way you're going is right, and you're 100% sure.
You're proud of it too. You're proud about it. And that's the beginning of sin. That's the beginning of your fall. It's pride. And after that tree of pride grows, and it grows many different forms of branches and bears fruit. All right. Ecclesiastes 7:5. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools.
Yeah, man, we know Esau's a fool, man. We know he's a fool. Everything he promotes is about foolishness.
Your preachers are fools. Your rappers, your singers are fools. Your so-called poetic writers are fools. This is the most poetic book you can ever get. All right, these men in the Bible, they're the most poetic men that ever lived. All right, but y'all want to lift up Drake and Lil Wayne and all these dumbass rappers, man. All these rappers that sold their soul for jewels. They gave up their soul for $1. When we all know we're grown now, money comes and goes. It goes quicker than it comes in. But it says it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise. And y'all people don't even take that into consideration. That rebuke is a necessary tool. And it has to be rehearsed and practiced. Alright? But it's okay to hear the rebuke from a military drill sergeant. Oh, because you're gonna have a career, you need to better yourself. You need to fight for our freedom. Don't you understand that fighting for this world is gonna come to an end? That Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is about to make war upon all nations? That us brothers on the highways in the Bible, we're the only real soldiers on the earth, man. You got a lot of mighty men out there. Yeah, you got a lot of strong men out there, but they can't do what we do. They can't stand for the right cause. They can't sacrifice their life, their ego, their reputation for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But y'all uplift that part of that aspect. You don't uplift this. But Yahweh Shai is lifting it up because you got all types of brothers that are waking up to this very day. And it's increasing, it's not stopping.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. You know, but the point about that folly being set in great dignity, man, that's what's, like the brother said, that's what's uplifted in this time. I know, like they say today, man, I don't like it, but they say, people call each other fools sometimes. They'll be like, what up, fool? Hey, what's up, fool? You're calling that man stupid. And everything's backward. They do have words today that are actually meant for like a rebuke or like to tell you like I don't like you, but they call it a good thing today.
Yeah, when they use the word fool, it's like saying like, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Right? That's how they use it, but not knowing that behind that word it's negative. So this is what I've been doing. What I've been doing was when they use that word call me fool, I turn around and be like, what's up, fool? I'm really meaning it, what that word really means towards that motherfucker. Because he's using it like me, I don't like it. But I'm gonna use it the way it's intended to be because he's really being a fool for using a word that he don't even know nothing about. He's just doing it because he's following everybody else. Now realizing A, it's disrespectful. A, is disrespectful. B, use it right. Don't be stupid, use it right. But like everything else in this world is trendy. It's accepted. But here in America, but with this truth, nothing's accepted. We don't hear none of y'all people using the word being circumspect. Y'all ain't even trying to learn y'all's proper language, Hebrew. You Latinos, you Mexicans, y'all actually think y'all are more you Mexicans actually think y'all are better than the Mexicans that are from here. But y'all don't even know that you speak Spanish and you got that from your country. You got that from the white man, Spanish, Espanol. And you think you're so much better, man. Y'all are fools.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of the Most High. I speak this to your shame.
Right, Paul was speaking that, man. Paul was telling you that because you lack knowledge and are ignorant, he speaks this to your shame because it's going to be a shameful reward at the end of it all. Thinking that you know and you got what it takes. Y'all don't got what it takes, man. Like the scriptures say that y'all are envy. Y'all are still envious and jealous of your own brethren. You hate your own people. Y'all can say, well, you hate us too. We hate 2/3. We hate 2/3 you because you don't want to acknowledge and come to the doctrine and realize that you're wrong. And it's like, I'm glad you brought out that about Levi and Simeon because Levi and Simeon, they share the same island. And this has been going on for years and years and years that they've been against each other. They're very racist against each other over there at the Dominican Republic. Okay, right there, it's Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They hate each other, man. They're at war with each other. The Dominicans are light-skinned. They vary. You know what I'm saying? Like we brothers know, all Israel varies from dark to light. But the Dominicans, they vary. You got light-skinned Haitians too, but over there in Dominican Republic, they vary in skin tones. And they call they don't like the fact that Haiti are black. They're being like who? They're oppressors. That's how they learned hatred, was from their oppressor. That's why they hate each other. That's exactly what Esau wants us and y'all 2/3 doing with us. We're doing it according to the scriptures though. Our hate, like I said earlier, our hatred is righteous. Y'all's hatred is the Haitians